Welcome to the Ajax Public Library's virtual coding club. I'm Larry Rosen, and today we're going to do some Scratch coding. We're going to learn how to make a hide and seek game using Scratch. So that's what you want to do. You've come to the right place. Let's get started. Let's see if we have somebody in the waiting room. I think we might. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to Virtual Coding Club. Is it Owen?
Yep.
Welcome. Yes. Okay. We're going to start in about 5 minutes. So make yourself at home and glad you're here. You can have a video if you want, or audio is fine, and chat, whatever is most comfortable for you. Start the video later. That's fine. It's not a problem. Welcome, Kavi, to Virtual Coding Club, Ajax Public Library. We're going to be starting in a couple of minutes. Welcome. Welcome, Dorian. Welcome, Dana. Is it Dana or Dana?
Hi.
Hello. Glad you're here.
Hi. I'm good.
That's so good to hear on this beautiful Saturday. I haven't been outside. Is it nice out? Yeah, excellent. It's a pretty good day to be doing some coding, I would say. I would think so. Using Scratch. Have you used Scratch before? Scratch coding? Yeah, a little bit. It's okay if you haven't, because we're going to start right from scratch. We're going to just do the basics. A lot. Use it a lot. Okay. This kind of leans towards the beginners, but we'll find ways to make it a little bit challenging. All right, are just about ready to start. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is Virtual Coding Club. We're going to be doing some coding today, and thanks for joining me. Now, oh, we still got people coming in. This is good. Welcome, Aditi. Now, I'm just going to share my screen so you can see. Welcome. There we go. Now, can everybody see my PowerPoint? You can see? All right. Just double checking one thing here. Welcome everybody. They're still coming in. So I just want to let you know that this session is being recorded for our library's YouTube channel. If you do not want to be seen, then just turn off your camera. And then the participation will occur through the audio or the chat. it's up to you. But you're welcome to turn on the video if you want. Love to see you, but it is going to be recorded, so it's totally up to you. If you don't want to, it's not a problem at all. And so my name is Larry Rosen, and I'm just going to guide you through some little bit of Scratch coding today. And if you're familiar with Zoom, if you turn it, there's two types of views. There's a speaker view, and then there's the gallery view. If you put it on speaker view, then I'm the only one that you'll see during the presentation. If you have it on gallery view, then you might see others on the side. It doesn't matter, they both work. And at any time, if you want to mute, you know where the mute button is. But if you want to ask me a question in the middle, just unmute yourself and say, hey, Larry, I got a question, and be glad to answer it for you. You can also stop the video, stop yourself from being seen at any time. It's not a problem, whatever it is most comfortable for you, okay? So hide and seek, for those who might be not as familiar with Scratch, it's a programming language where you can create your own interactive stories, and you got these characters and you can tell them what to do. You are the programmer, you are the coder, and you'll be creating videos with cartoon characters. You tell them what to do, okay? And you don't need any programming skills to do this. If you want your character to move 5 spaces, you just tell him or her, move 5 spaces, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to do this. Now, oh, I have, you draw them, you draw the characters. Wow. See, I wish I had that skill to be able to draw a character. That's amazing. And, but Scratch has characters built in that we're going to use today for this little coding activity. And it's for this demonstration, if it's preferable if you use a desktop or a laptop because it's a bigger screen and less things are hidden. You can use most browsers. It's best if you use Chrome or Firefox. Edge or Explorer, it tends not to work as much as well, but I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. And if for those who might not have a Scratch account yet, this is the website where you go to join. And does everyone have a Scratch account? I'm thinking they do. But this is where you would go and the reason you want a Scratch account is because you might want to save your work and come back to it later. And if
you can also share it on a Scratch account. Oh, sorry.
Yes, you're right. You can share. Absolutely. And
I share things and hope to get views.
Perfect. Yeah, it's really good because why should you have to do it yourself? You're doing it with other people. You can get reactions, and it's very good. You can do it on an iPad, but during this activity, it would be difficult to on your iPad to go from what I'm doing to the Scratch to what I'm doing. So it's just better.
I have 2 laptops set up.
Whoa. That's amazing.
I have my mom's laptop, and my mom's laptop, which is showing you, and my laptop, which is on the Scratch.
All right. You don't have to do anything with me in real time if you want. If you're just starting out and learning what this is all about, you can just watch me and then do the activity afterwards. And for those who want to split their screen, what you do is you take the Zoom app, you take it out of full screen mode, and then you drag it to the left until it snaps. And then you do the same thing with your browser. You take it out of full screen mode and you drag it to the right until it snaps. And then you've got them both on each side. Or you can go back and forth between what I'm doing. You can minimize Zoom as well. There's a minimize button as well. But if you minimize it, then I'll be really tiny and you won't be able to see. It's up to you. whatever you wish to do. And then, yeah, everybody goes at their own pace. And if you don't want to do it while I'm doing it, that's quite all right. So let's do this. This is your Scratch. Oh, just need to check one more thing here. Sorry, give me one sec. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's share the screen again. From the Scratch home screen, which you're probably all familiar with, all you have to do is we're going to create. Click the Create button right here as we start from scratch. Now, what we're doing today is we're creating, it's going to move. If I'm going too fast or if something's not working, just interrupt me anytime, okay? What we're doing is we're going to create a program where it's called hide and seek. So the character, we're going to put a character on the screen, and we're going to get this character to kind of appear, then disappear, then appear in many different places. And the object will be for you to click on the object before the object disappears, and to see how many you can click on in a certain amount of time. So in order to do that, first thing let's do is let's get rid of the cat, because we're going to use a different character. Unless you want,
cat.
if you want to use the cat, you can. Did you say
The cat does not get respected?
It doesn't, does it?
Scratch cat, use Scratch cat.
You know,
Everybody delete Scratch cat.
you
Let him live.
You want to use Scratch Cat? Sure, we can use Scratch Cat.
Yes.
Everyone should use Scratch cat in their project. Scratch cat needs to live.
I was
already used Scratch cat in a bunch of mine.
I was going to use Globo, but
Wait a second. Okay, this is actually hilarious. The fact that I literally. Oh, never mind. This is fun anyway. It was just really funny. I literally yesterday made a project. It's not similar, but Gobo was the main character, so Gobo was the player. That's kind of funny.
Well, you know what? Okay, I leave it to you. You can use the cat or you can use Globo. I'm going to use Globo. So the first thing that we have to do, but before I do that, I'm just going to add a backdrop. All right. So in order to add a backdrop, it's this one right here in the bottom right corner. If you click on this little icon right here, you will be presented with a whole bunch of choices. And I'm going to choose underwater. You can choose something different. And it kind of looks like this. That's what I like about Scratch. Everything's kind of easy once you know where everything is. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to either if you want to keep the cat, that's great. I'm going to change the cat. So I'm going to click the X to delete the cat, and I'm going to choose here where it says choose a sprite, because the cat is called a sprite, and we're going to choose another sprite. And I'm going to look for Globo. Oh, Gobo. I was calling him Globo.
Yeah, there's not an L, just saying.
Gobo. So there's my Gobo.
I'm just curious, are you using, what version of 1.3 are you using? Because it's obvious you're using 1.3, but do you know what version?
Version of
No,
Scratch?
he's using 3.0. That's Scratch 3.0.
Not 1.3. Oh, that is really embarrassing.
That's all right.
I'm not using 1.3 either. And using what he's using, but I'm not sure the exact version. So
Now,
some weird things.
You know, if you're in
It's all right.
2.0, everything will just be flipped around. So basically, this, you know, if you're in 1 point something,
Yeah.
it'll just look like the exact same, but the blocks are like less quality.
Things are generally in the same place, but maybe look a little different.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Also in 2.0, the stage is on the other side, so just look on the other side.
That's right. Yes. Absolutely right. So
But then all the projects got broken by. But then there were so many projects that got broken by 3.0. That's like that's how the whole
Yeah.
Thanos cat thing came around.
so if the goal here is to click the sprite before it disappears, look how big that sprite is. That's too big, isn't it? So let's make it a bit smaller. Does anyone know how to make a sprite smaller?
Yeah, but is it okay if is it okay if you I don't mean to be rude, but can you wait a second because my computer just decided it doesn't want to work anymore and locked up.
I know the feeling. That's all right. While you're booting it up again, does anyone else know how to make that Gobo a little bit smaller?
I know how to.
What do you think?
There's two ways. But,
Sorry.
You first.
There's an easy way and then there's a kind of not so easy way, but you can.
Okay, so go into the size and then make it 50.
Oh, you chose the easy way. Yeah. that's
Yes.
the way. That's the way to do it. So
Nobody wants to do it the harder way.
I
By
like
putting it on a change size block.
I like your thinking. Okay, so let's change this. That's 100%. What if we change that? I'm going to try 75%. Oh, here we go. 7.
You kind of just have to experiment because there's no real different sprites seem to scale differently, and don't exactly know if that's true, but they seem, in my opinion, they seem to scale differently.
50%. Let's try that for now. Okay. Very good.
Because like some sprites get way smaller at 50%, and others only get a little smaller.
Now, we want this sprite to start in the middle at the beginning of every game. So in order to do that, whenever the green flag is clicked, we want the sprite to start in the middle and say something. So when the green flag is clicked is an event. Hello there from the chat.
Hello there from the chat. The chat is telling me hello there. The chat is impersonating Isabel Meyer.
So because it's an event, here are the events on the left-hand side of your screen. If you click on events, when the green flag is clicked, we're going to drag it right out here.
Except those two on the bottom, I think they all start with that little thing on top, preventing you from putting them below anything.
And if we want the Gobo to be in the middle of the screen, we have to say, we have to tell it to go to the middle of the screen. And that, is that a sound event, or is that a sensing event, or is that a
motion?
Thank you.
Motion.
All right. Thank you. It is motion. So we want it to go to. So let's look for a go to. And
there's go to random position, but that's not. There's two go tos, which is annoying.
There is, but we want it to go to a certain XY position.
I call it go to one variable and go to two variable.
X is this way and Y is this way. So if I drag this one right here, right, and if we know that 0 is the middle of the screen, then we can just change that to 0, and we can change this to 0. And then when I click when I click the red flag, let's see what happens. Gobo goes to the middle of the screen because 0 and 0 is right in the middle of the screen. All right. Now, we also want Gobo to say something.
We do. We need to give Gobo a voice.
But we're going to, before we give him a voice, we're going to make him, make him hide. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So
Gobo has to hide and then get a voice.
it's because eventually Gobo is going to hide and then appear a few times. So, okay. So the hide, sorry, what am I saying? Show. We want to show him. We want to show. So the hide and the shows are, where would they be? Because you're looking. It's a looking thing. You're looking. You see. You don't see. So it is a look. It is under looks. So if I click looks, and I see down here there is something called show, and we put that here. And the reason is because at the end of a game, Gobo might be invisible because he invisible, then not invisible, invisible. So at the beginning, we want him to be visible. In other words, we want him to show. So we put that show there. And then, do you know how we can make him talk or her talk? There it is right there under looks. Say hello for 2 seconds. So drag that right here. And we're going to change that. And we're going to have Gobo say, click me for to score a point. Everybody with me so far? When I click on the red, the green flag. So we've got Gobo to saying that. All right, that was just an introduction. Now we're going to make the sprite hide and appear. Right now, we are seeing the sprite. We have to make it hide.
Hide it.
We have to make it hide for 1 second.
Not show. Unshow.
And we want to make it hide continuously, forever. So do you know where the forever? What?
Under control.
It's under control. That's right, because you're controlling it. And sometimes you control it forever, and sometimes you control it for a second. So thank you. We're going to go to control. And we're going
I've used Scratch for like 2 years now, so.
Oh, then I got to catch up with you.
I've used Scratch only since 2020, but I know practically everything about it.
Whoa. Okay. Then this might be too easy for you.
Yeah.
All right. So we want Gobo to hide. Where would the hide be?
It's right next to looks.
It's in the looks because it's another kind of a look thing. So you're right.
Yeah,
so,
just like in costumes.
Look at me.
So we go to looks. We go to looks here and we look for the hide. And we go hide. And we want to hide it. And now what if we want to make it hide for 1 second?
But then we put hide, control, wait 1 second, and then what we wanted, and then show.
It's a control thing. Yes, you're controlling it to be for 1 second. Very good. So we look for the control, which is under wait. There it is. Wait for 1 second. So forever, it's going to hide for 1 second. I'm going to press the green flag. Watch what happens. Click me to score a point, and whoa, that's more than 1 second, isn't it? That's okay. We're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. We made it disappear. But the next thing that we have to do is we have to make the sprite reappear. But not only that, we want to make the sprite reappear at random, not in the same place. Because that's going to make it difficult for you to click where you think the sprite might be. All right, so we've got it hidden. The next thing we have to do is to make it reappear in a random place. So in order to do that, we have to make it go to a different place. So where would our go to?
Motion.
Go to use the go to random
Thank you.
position.
It's a
block
motion.
right before
It's a
the
motion
aforementioned
thing.
filter.
Yes, it's a motion thing. So we're going to do the go to X to Y again. And this is still under the forever because we want it to hide and appear forever, or at least until the game ends. So if I said make it go to 5 and 7, then it would always go to that number. So we want it
That's
to be
stuck in my
random.
head too.
We want it to be a random.
What'd you say? Someone just said something. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to know what it was.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Did anyone, you want to?
You just said you literally are humming Undertale. It's stuck in your head, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
I think it's
this.
called Mangovania. Oh yeah, that's my favorite thing. Yeah, it's
Oh,
one of my favorite
Okay.
music.
Okay,
the one
so
which everybody
okay,
likes. Somebody said the one which everybody always overuse, and then puts that filter on it, which makes it go. You know.
okay. So we need to find a random number. We can't just put the same number here in this go to down here. It has to be random. So our random is in the green, and we're going to drag one of these greens in here, and we're going to drag one of these greens in here. And these numbers represent where it is on the screen. So if the screen is 200 pixels, okay, so somebody might need to mute because I'm hearing things. Thank you. But feel free to unmute when you need to say something. All right. So if the screen is 200 pixels, and if I went minus 200, minus 200 to 200, that would be any random position from the left side to the right side. And if I picked a random position from the top to the bottom, it would be minus 140 to 140. And then when you do that, if you were a game developer, you would not want to have that say block. I am the seeker. Now, if we leave it like this, do you think I don't know if it's going to work because we're still missing something. We've got it hidden. What are we still missing here? There's one more little block.
I think we need it to show, right?
Thank you. Thank you, because we've got it to go to a random position while it's hidden, but we need it to show. So that is a look. That's a look thing. There it is right there. So let's move a show right there. Will it work? Let's press green flag. So it starts in the middle and says something. And then, now if you look, it looks way too fast. Way too fast. And that's because we want to control it a little bit more so it's not so fast, because I would never be able to click on something that fast. So how do we control that so that it doesn't pop so fast?
I think we need to wait for like a second.
Exactly. You are very smart. You are all very smart. We are going to the control because we're controlling it again. And we're going to do a wait 1 second, but we're going to change this to 0.7 seconds. And now if you look at Gobo, this is a little bit more easier. And a lot of this is trial and error, you know. If it's still too fast, you can change the time. Okay. We are on our way. Now, the next thing we have to do, we need a code that we have to be able to click on the sprite. We need to have a code in there so that when we click on the sprite, it gives us a point. And to do that, we have to create a variable. Does anyone know what a variable is?
You do realize you could just have used the go to random position block?
Sorry?
You realize you could just use the go to random position block instead of go to x pick random negative 200.
Very good. There's lots of different ways. There's lots of different ways you can do things. Absolutely. Yeah. I just chose this way, and there's some easier ways. There's difficult ways. You'll find the way that you like to do it. Very good. So we're going to create a score, something that keeps score. So we have to create something called a variable, and a variable is something that continually changes, like a score. Whenever you click on it, the score goes up. So where's our variables? Well, it has its own section right down here on the left. If you click on it, and it says make a variable. So we're going to make a variable by clicking there, and we're going to call it, and you can call it score or my score. And when you do that, this appears. There's nothing in here. We just made a score. That's all we did is create that, but we're not done. We have to make it so that when you click on that Gobo, the score goes up by 1. So in variables, there's something called set my variable, or sorry, change. We're changing the variable. We're changing it. So change my variable by 1. When you click on the sprite, so it's not the green flag. When you click on the sprite, that's what we have to do. So that is an event. When you click on the sprite is right here. When this sprite clicked, when this sprite is clicked, change, and we go back to variables, because we're changing the score. Change my variable by 1, which means when you click on the Gobo, the score is going to go up by 1. Did it work? Let's see. I'm going to press the green flag and see. Now I'm going to click on the Gobo. Oh, it's not working. I'm clicking on it, but it's not. Gobo, sorry. Go.
How to change a variable to score.
Thank you. Yes. Change the variable.
Globo. You get Globo if you make a Gobo with the color scheme of the globe.
Score. So I have to change.
I actually did that.
I have to change this to score. And now when I click on the Gobo, if I can click on it, that thing is fast. There it is. So now your score goes up by 1. All right. Now, what did we forget? We forgot. Oh, don't forget to mute. Don't forget to mute when you're not chatting.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. We forgot one thing, because if I click stop and then start again, you'll notice that the score didn't go back to 0. So we have to add one thing to make it go to 0 at the beginning of every game. And to do that, we have to set the score to 0 whenever the flag is clicked. So our variables, that's what we're changing, is the variable to 0, back to 0. set my variable. There it is right there. Set my variable to 0. So if I drag that under the flag right here, and then change my variable to score, set score to 0. That means whenever the green flag is clicked, whatever the score is, it'll go back to 0. So I'm going to press the red stop button and then start, and then the score should go to 0. There it is, 0. A lot of times I forget to do that. And okay, we are doing really good and you are doing great. So how about a timer? Let's add a timer to this because you want to see how many clicks you can get in 30 seconds. So I'm going to move this temporarily over here. So a timer is something that is constantly changing. So that's a variable. So we have to create another variable. And here's our variables button on the bottom left corner. And if we click make a variable again, we go timer. And we call it timer. You can call it anything you want. So now we've got a timer and a score. You can move this timer anywhere you like, or keep it where it is. Or if you press it twice, it becomes this. Just double click it. Different ways of viewing the timer by double clicking it. I kind of like it like that. Okay. So to create the timer, we have to first set the timer for 30 seconds. Or it could be 15 seconds, it could be a minute, whatever you like. I'll make it 30 seconds. So to set a variable, that is under our variables column, set my variable. And but it's also, you can't just drag this out here with nothing. You need to put something there. What do you think? Is it going to be a green flag here? Or is it going to be a when this sprite clicked here? Well, it's not a sprite. These variables are not sprites. So it is a green flag that we're going to put right there. And we're going to change this to timer because that's what we're working on is the timer right here. And we're going to set the timer to 30 seconds. Okay. Now we got to get this timer to go down to 0. And we have to do it continuously, which means we need a repeat until the timer hits 0. There's a repeat. There is a, if you go to control, you will see that there is a repeat here. But we want repeat until, because we want to repeat it only until the timer hits 0 and then not repeat anymore. So I'm going to drag this repeat until right there. Repeat until timer equals 0. Whenever you say the word equals or greater than or less than, you're talking about an operator. Equal, greater than, less than. So I want the timer repeat until timer equals 0. So if I click on operators, And I look for the equal. So something there say equal? Yes, there is one that says equal. So I'm going to drag this out right here. And I'm going to put it right in there. Repeat until blank equals 50. Well, that's not what we want. We want to repeat until the timer equals 0. So where are we going to find something to fill in that white blank? What do you think? The timer. Where did we see the timer? Was that in, which one of these?
Variables.
Thank you. It's a variable. So I'm going to drag the, not the score, I'm going to drag this timer right in here. Repeat until the timer equals, and then I'm going to change that to 0. All right. So what do we have to do to get the timer to go down to 0? Is we have to wait 1 second because we can't make the change until a second has gone by. So we're controlling, and controlling means wait. So we're going to go to our control, wait 1 second. So we set the timer to 30, and we're going to repeat whatever's in here until it hits 0. So we're going to wait 1 second, and then we're going to change the timer. And the timer is a variable, so we go back to our variables, and we see we want to change my variable. There it is right there. So I'm going to drag that in there. Ooh. I'm going to put it right in there. And I'm going to change that to timer because that's what we're dealing with is the timer. And now if you think that's enough, did I do it right, or is there something I still need to do here? Let's go through it. I set the timer to 30. Repeat until the timer hits 0. I wait 1 second and then change the timer by 1. So that is the timer going to go down, or is it going to?
There's actually a blocking something that says the timer.
I think it goes up.
It's going to go up. Yeah. So I did something wrong there. How can I fix that? It's if 1 goes up, then what would go down? How about
maybe -1?
excellent. -1. Okay. I wonder if this worked. We've got our timer. Now what happens at the end of when it hits 0? We want everything to stop because the game is over. So how do we make everything just stop at the end? Well, that's all right. We are controlling the game. And if we're controlling it and we're making it stop at the end, there's your stop right there. Stop all. All right, let's test this out and see if we have to make any corrections. I'm going to press the stop button here, and I'm going to press the green flag. Let's see. Gobo starts, says something, and now here he goes. Oh, he's fast. He's fast. There, I got 1, 2. I'm not as fast as I used to be. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's now the timer is working. Yes, the timer is almost done. And now Gobo is gone. And I got a score of 6. So it looks like everything that you told me to do with this coding has worked. What if I wanted to make a popping noise whenever I click on Gobo? Do you know what I would do?
I
Yes.
think you need to go to sound.
Sound? Okay. And what would I do there? Where do you think this would go? Just think about it. I'm clicking Gobo whenever I click Gobo, I get a point. But I want a sound whenever I click as well. Which one of these should I add it to? The popping sound.
When the sprites clicked.
This one? Very good. Yes. If I put something here, let's see if this works. Turn up your volume. I'm going to press this start again. Score goes to 0. That's good. Here we go. I am not fast enough. Yes, there we go. Now, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1 more. Come on. Oh, okay, 6 again. And then it stops. So that is about it. Now, how can we make this more challenging in the 15 minutes that we have left? What if I'm going to give you some challenges here? What if you wanted to make what's one way that you could make this harder?
Change the size every time he appears.
Yes, let's change the size. Right now it's 50. Now I don't have the time to do a random size change today, but if you made this 30, that would be even tougher, wouldn't it? Give it a try. Oh, that's too tough for me. Oh, I got to get at least 1. $30 is too much for me, I think. What if I wanted to change how fast or slow it appears? What would I need to change? These are things that you can try if you've been doing this with me. Change how fast between when he shows and when it hides, how fast. Change that if you know where to look. Another thing you can do to make this more challenging is find a way to make a different noise other than the pop. How to make the game last longer. So just take a few minutes and see how you can make it more challenging. Maybe you can have Gobo say something at the end of the game saying, thanks for playing. maybe you want a backdrop to appear, a different kind of a backdrop to appear when the game is over. What do you think?
I think that's good.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave you for a few minutes to do on your own. Try to make it more challenging. If you want me to show you how to do the backdrop ending, I can do that as well. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to do the different backdrop ending. You can play around with some of these numbers that you see. Make it more difficult. Okay, for those who want to see how to make a different ending when the game is over, here's what you do. Let's search for a different kind of an ending background. So when the game ends, it changes to a different background. So let's search for the background. We go to our usual place for backdrops. And I'm going to choose party. So that will be the backdrop that I'm going to use at the end of the game. And so what we need to do is, as usual, when the green flag is clicked, which is under events because it's an event, when the green flag is clicked, now, when the green flag is clicked, we do not want this party background to be seen. So we have to switch the backdrop right at the beginning of the game. So to switch the backdrop, that's a look. And we just move this switch backdrop back to the underwater that I had originally. That tells the program to ignore the party until we want to bring it up. And so we don't want this party thing to come up until the timer is done. So we need to wait until the timer is done. Is there a wait until block? Is the question. Wait until you're controlling. So
Yeah.
is it under control? Let's see. Wait until, there it is right there. Wait until. Wait until timer equals 0. Now, you notice I said equals, right? So equals, that's, you know what that is, right? Equals.
In operations.
It's an operator, yes, absolutely. Wait until equals, and there it is. Wait until something equals something. So wait until the timer equals 0. Where can I find my timer?
Variables, under variables.
Oh, you are very good. Thank you. Variables, timer. So I'm going to drag the timer equals 0. Now, when the timer equals 0, we want to make it switch from the underwater to the party. Yay, we won. So we have to switch the backdrop again, right? And where was those backdrops?
Under looks.
Absolutely, looks, because you're looking at a backdrop. Switch backdrop. But they both say underwater, so let's change this one to party. And if we do that, then we have to move the stop all here down to there. Did it work? Let's see, I'm gonna press the green flag. See, we lost our party screen. Now we're back to the beginning. The tiny little Gobo that I cannot click on because I'm not fast enough. Oh, I gotta get at least one. Yes, I got one. Well, I certainly need to do some practicing, that's for sure. 3, yay. All right, the more you do it, the better you get. Okay, that is it for today. Now, keep trying to find ways to make it more difficult. Maybe you could have something on it, say, congratulations on your score, or make it say something after you win. Continue to find ways to make it more difficult. And any other questions? You can find this something similar on the Scratch website. Just search for hide and seek. You'll be able to do it right on Scratch. So that was it. I hope you had a good time, and thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to do it again next month, a different challenge, and just keep watching the website and register. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the week.
I had a really fun time.
Thank you.
This was totally worth getting off my Nintendo and getting off playing Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
You know, it's nice to do something different once in a while.
It is. It is.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I'm glad that you enjoyed this. This is really good. And think of new things that you can do. It's just,
yeah. I'm working on a really big project called Pokemon Excalibur.
Whoa.
I'm combining 2 Pokemon games, Pokemon X and Pokemon Sword.
Sounds exciting. And
I know it's probably gonna take me ages, but
don't forget to take breaks.
Yeah.
And
anyway, have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you, and you too. And thank you, everybody, and stay safe. And we'll see you online soon.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
My little sister wants to
Bye.
say
Bye-bye.